funny. Oh, that's a good one. That's good. That's good.
Hey, Joe. What's going on? You ready for film juice or what?
Oh, yeah. I must have forgot to tell you.
What's up?
So, I kind of, sort of, just a little bit, maybe replaced you. It's better to show you than explain it to you.
Okay.
Andrew, meet the Reviewobot 9000.
Greetings, I am the Reviewobot 9000, reviewer of all movies.
It's the season finale, Joe. You do realize that, and you think that you can replace me right now?
I mean, corporate wanted to spice things up a bit, and I think this was their answer. I mean, he's basically you, but does everything better, and it's without the back talk. I mean, how can I say no to that?
I have access to all movies in existence from all countries and reviews on every one.
Okay.
Like, how can you beat that?
Okay, how about, Lawrence of Arabia? Let's try that.
Lawrence of Arabia, directed by David Lean, starring Peter O'Toole. An excellent film with wonderful landscape shots and a story featuring much religious symbolism. Juice box score computing. 9 juice boxes out of 10.
That movie is easily a 10.
I don't think so.
Not according to the Reviewobot 9000. So, I mean, I guess you should just pack up your things and I'll see you around.
Wow, okay. I'm gonna go because I want to, not because you told me to. And when this all blows up in your face, don't call me.
I can't see that happening.
It is.
Don't embarrass yourself.
This is embarrassing for you.
Okay.
You're embarrassed right now.
Okay. Okay there.
No. That's Andrew leaving. That is not.
That just reminded me how much better you are than him. I just can't believe it. I can't believe how much better you are than him. I bet you even love Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World, director Edgar Wright, starring Michael Cera as Scott Pilgrim. Calculating juice box score. Juice box score 2 out of 10 juice boxes.
What? I think that's even lower than what Andrew rated it. What? How do you...
The algorithm is never incorrect. Reviewobot knows all.
Okay, well, I guess we can disagree on some things. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, that's fine. If we disagree on 1 or 2 things, it's okay.
Yes, and OJ is innocent.
What?
He never killed anyone. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. The earth is flat. The earth is flat.
Andrew!
Dinosaurs aren't real. They were made up by the Catholic Church.
Hey everybody, welcome to Film Juice
Welcome!
season finale!
Ah!
Finale of season 3. It's very exciting.
Yes, Andrew's here,
You can
not
tell
a
by
robot.
Joe's scream. Yes, that is
robot.
correct. I'm
We brought
Andrew
you
Canada.
back. And I'm Joe Dorado.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Thank you so much.
We're going to be talking about two new movies today, and then we've got a little look back on the year.
That's our top 5 movies of the year.
That's right.
I'm excited.
First movie on the list is a Netflix original. It's a new movie by the Coen brothers, written and directed by Joel and Ethan.
Yep.
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Very, very interesting movie for a lot of reasons. So, really, this is it's a bunch of stories compiled into one film, varying lengths, varying topics.
6 movies, 6 stories.
Right. But they all basically take place in the Old West, varying people and things like that, and they don't really intersect or anything.
They're just in the same area.
Right. But you don't really mind that, and it's a good movie. Joe, what do you think?
This movie was very interesting. like you said, so first of all, it's very interesting because this movie is like one of the first of its kind blockbuster movie just to go right to Netflix. It was put in some theaters. It was put in some theaters. This is like a big deal, I feel like, for a movie directed by directors such as the Coen brothers, who have won countless awards, to just put a movie right on Netflix. And they put it in theaters too, but it's a movie that is meant for the theater, and they just put it streaming right on Netflix. So I think it's very interesting.
Suppose you're right, and I think we'll see a lot more of that to come.
I think it's really cool.
Crazy Rich Asians from this past summer famously got an offer from Netflix, a huge offer. They turned it down for a little less money, but so that they could get it into theaters.
Yeah.
However, I can't imagine that that's where the trend is going. I think it will end up in the opposite direction, like this movie did.
I just think it's a really cool option. I still enjoy the theater, but I thought it was a cool option. But anyways, about the movie, this movie was so beautifully shot.
Oh, absolutely. Best part about the movie
insane.
Throughout.
It actually wasn't my favorite part. My favorite part about this whole movie was the dialogue. I think the dialogue, and maybe not always, I think it was just very meticulous and very detailed.
And it was edited together so well.
And I think the Coen brothers are just so good at, like, I just think this was a very good period piece, and I think they got that right.
And I think another reason for that being the use of natural light in this movie.
Yes.
There was a lot of it, and
crazy.
It was really, really nice to see.
And I just think it's a very interesting way to tell. It's a very interesting structure for.
So let me just explain for the folks at home. I've always wanted to say that for the folks at home. So it starts off with a book opening, like at the beginning of Shrek. I'm sure everyone's seen Shrek, which I think is interesting because the movie is really, it's basically a compilation of short stories. What that is in literature, this is for film. And I think that's one of the reasons that throughout, as you're passing through the stories, they cut back to the book. I think that makes it a lot, because I haven't seen a movie like that before, where all the stories don't intersect at all.
It was very interesting.
And so I think that they included that book to make it easier to swallow for the audience, so they would have something to compare it to and be able to follow it better. So that was a nice touch.
Yeah, I also thought it was really cool. The book also this is another thing about the detail of this movie. The book that they show, the pages are so well written. Like if you pause, you can read the pages of the book.
Yeah,
and
very cool.
They're super well written, and it's really cool to watch it and also see it in written form. It was really interesting.
All in one spot like that.
Yes, I thought it was really cool. And you can't read the whole thing, but you can read just a little bit. And This is
especially
really good.
You can read a little passage before the story happens.
So you don't even have to pause if you don't want.
Yeah. It's really
it was
really
awesome.
Cool.
And I liked how they even showed pictures in the book to foreshadow things.
Shots in the movie, which was phenomenal, because a lot of times
they're well drawn.
Coen Brothers movies, of course, for example, there are compositions that look like paintings, and here they actually were.
Especially in this movie? Oh, well, my God.
I mean, obviously, because they did make them into paintings.
Another thing that I loved about this movie with it being a period piece was the props and the costumes were so well done. Oh my God, like the set design and all of that.
The set design was spectacular. Costumes, I thought it was interesting. It was very dirty a lot of the time to go with the period. But a lot of our main characters, or at least important characters that we were supposed to pay attention to, were dressed in much brighter, cleaner clothes than everybody else.
Yes.
Which, that choice obviously makes sense.
Especially in the first story.
Yes. And like I said, that obviously makes sense because, of course, they want to draw our eye there. Sometimes, especially with Westerns, when that happens, it takes a little bit away of that for me. However, in the first story, which is the Buster Scruggs story, it works perfectly well because his outfit and his quirkiness, as you'll see when you watch this movie, they really contrast with his with his actions.
Yeah. Oh, of course. And it's so
Which is
good.
something that, of
It's
course,
so
they
good.
do so well.
Yes, and I love that about, that's my favorite
And
part about the first one.
the quirkiness and some of the gore during parts of this movie,
Yes.
Coen Brothers fans won't be disappointed.
Yes, and they
right
also,
up their alley.
Also, so before I get into a couple things that I guess issues with it, I just wanted to bring up really quick, the performances in this movie are amazing. James Franco's in this movie.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson's in this movie. Tim Blake Nelson, who
is
plays
Buster Scruggs. And he's, he's a very funny actor.
Oh
yeah,
my
absolutely.
God,
absolutely.
he was so good.
I think Willie Watson, who played the kid in that Buster Scruggs story at the end. I also because everybody is in it for a pretty brief time.
Yes.
So it's really quite a feat that they were able to be so memorable and so exceptional in their performances.
Yep. And Stephen Root, who was not a big character, but he was in the second story of the movie. He was with James Franco. So good, so funny.
Really funny.
It was great. But anyways, just a couple of issues I had with this movie. I thought there was slow pacing, especially with the last two, mainly the fifth. The fifth
story. The sixth story. I don't know if we have time right now to argue about that, but we see that very differently.
Yes, but the fifth story was a little slow,
and it was the longest one.
And it was really long. Yeah,
but it was just which is fine. But oh gosh, I did not like it at all.
I didn't hate it. I liked it.
Could not stand it.
Also, a lot of people had issues with the tone in this, like the tone changes in this movie. But I didn't. Listen, I didn't.
No,
mind
I know,
that.
but I don't know why people who say that are ridiculous.
I didn't mind that because it was like that's what the movie was going for.
Obviously.
Like the contrast with the tone, especially like in some of the endings and the moments, that's what makes the movie. So, and then really quick, if I had to order the stories, I would order them from best to worst: 1, 4, 2, 3, and then 6 and 5.
I would do 1, 6, 3, 4. Oh no! I'm sorry. 1, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, we got it. We got
cool. What would you rate this movie?
7.5.
7.5?
Yeah. Exceptional stories, but the one was just really
I'm gonna
bad.
give this movie an 8.5. The fifth one didn't bother me as much, and I just thought it's so well done. I've never seen something quite like it. So I think you should check it out.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, we are going to be right back with our next movie. You don't want to miss it. Stick around.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
I already knew that I was going to go to college, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science, become the mayor or something, make the situation better for other people. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
You've messed up your son's haircut. Do you try to fix it? Work with what you've got? Or show solidarity?
Thank you, babe.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
We just finished dinner, and it was time for homework. He hates homework. I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just gotta try a little harder.
1 in 5 children struggle with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to understood.org.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Growing up where I did, a lot of things could have gotten in the way of my goals. But I learned to push through. And that's what I bring to work every day.
And we're back.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Film Juice. Joe, next movie, what is it?
Ooh, the next movie is Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yep.
What a great movie. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So this movie, this movie is the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph, and it basically it focuses on Ralph and Vanellope. Yes.
It's my cousin's name.
Vanellope's relationship, and basically her game gets broken, and to fix it, they have to travel to the internet to try and get enough money to buy the part they need off of eBay before the game is broken and she has no home left to go to. And it's a story about they travel through the internet, and they have ups and downs, and they go through the dark web, and they go through Disney, and they go through so many places, Google and such, BuzzTube, and oh man, it's a story about friendship, and it's a wild ride. It's a wild ride. That's all I can say.
Very well said. Very well said.
So what did you think of this movie, Andrew?
Gosh, where to begin?
There's so much to unpack. Like, this movie has a lot.
I think the best thing, I was very excited to see this movie.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the first Wreck-It Ralph, and I thought that the trailers for this movie made it look very good.
Yep.
The way that they show the internet is so creative and so accurate at the same time. And I mean, what an undertaking, because obviously,
I know.
I mean, to say it's
and to keep it
expansive is
PG,
ridiculous, but
there's a whole other thing.
Yeah, well, there's especially the part. There's a part about comments, comment section of videos, and to keep that PG, we were talking about that's very impressive.
It was so funny.
Yeah,
but it was like good. Like they knew what they were doing.
Oh,
it
of
was
course,
so tongue in cheek. It was really good.
Yeah.
But this movie was so clever, and I think that's the big
spectacularly
part
so
about this movie is they fit so much in such little time, and the way they include certain things and explain a lot of things.
Right.
Is
just
really,
visually.
Yeah, and it's so accurate.
Because these things, that exist only in the internet, through technology and stuff, they had to come up with all of these new things that have never been depicted on screen before because they're not tangible.
For example, one of the characters in the movie is called Algorithm. And she plays the YouTube algorithm. And I think that was so interesting, and that was such a good way to characterize something that's not, personify something like that isn't a person. It was
that's the most impressive thing about the whole movie.
It was crazy.
We could talk about it all day, but the writing as well.
Yes.
Just excellent.
Oh my God.
And the editing of the dialogue in this movie, I just loved. It was so perfect.
Yeah. The comedic timing in this movie was great.
Exactly.
And that's
it
what
was
it mattered.
Right on point.
The movie looked great.
Yes,
it looked
obviously.
amazing.
I wouldn't say that as far as the vastness, even though the internet, of course, is so vast, I do feel that the animation was not as impressively vast as in Coco, for example.
Oh, yes. The palette and well, yes, the palette and Coco in this movie are very different.
Right,
this
of
movie
course.
is a lot more, I guess, like by the numbers.
Sure,
with their palette.
Right, but still,
nothing really. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, yes. Some of the character designs are so funny too, like the dark web character.
Oh my gosh,
what was his name?
I don't recall.
He was
but
so.
just,
oh my
just
god,
spectacular. This is the sidekick of one of the secondary. This is like a third-tier character.
It was great,
and he steals every scene. No lines. Nobody plays this little guy.
It's so funny. And also the Disney portion of this movie,
that was
advertised
huge.
So and it
was really cool.
I was worried they were gonna milk it. And it was gonna be, it wasn't gonna fit, and it was gonna be like, you know, whatever. But it was so well done. It was so smart. It was so.
It really was.
It was great. I loved how they did that, and it felt natural, and it felt right.
Absolutely, that was a big gamble for them because one of the core rules for the Disney Corporation before this was that none of the princesses live in the same universe.
Yeah.
It was huge. If you go back at some of that merchandise, apparently none of the princesses are allowed to look in the same direction on backpacks or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because they aren't supposed to be aware of each other. This completely destroyed all of that, and it paid off. It was a very fun scene.
They even talked about meme culture in this movie.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Really,
how do you
really
do that?
But, you were blown away by it.
I was like, how did they just do that? I was so surprised that they did. It was crazy. It was so well done though, and it fit in the movie perfectly. There's so many references that I'm sure it's almost impossible to count.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
So many. The detail is
just
insane.
so, and it's incredibly topical.
Yes.
The movie.
Yes, and it's also self-aware, especially with the Disney stuff. The Disney song part, so self-aware.
It's just all
so funny.
Very unique Disney movie.
And
very, very entertaining.
I also want to say it's also unique in, I think, the structure, almost with the story, because you know, like, you obviously know there's going to be conflict and stuff's going to get bad at some point. But I didn't know where they were going to go with the conflict, if that makes sense. I didn't
where it was gonna come up.
I didn't. I was like, I wonder when.
Interesting.
I wonder when they're going to bring this up and when it's going to happen. And I didn't see when or how it was going to happen.
I think there were a lot of different avenues that they could have gone.
Yes,
down,
exactly.
Which is an interesting choice when writing the script, to give yourself so many avenues.
Yes,
as options.
And the conflict they picked was really good, I thought, as well. The only issue, I didn't really have any issue with this movie, honestly. I guess you could say at parts, like, the pacing might have been a little, like, slow. I mean, I think they could have cut a few things, or maybe just got to the conflict a little quicker.
Yeah.
That's really it. It wasn't that crazy, though. But this movie, it hit all the notes. It was funny. It was, and it tugged at your heartstrings. It was an emotional movie.
Again, not as much as Coco, but
no, not as much as Coco, but it was, and I thought it taught a great lesson. Like, honestly, I haven't seen a Disney movie touch on a lesson like that, and it's for kids, but it's very well done.
Fun for the whole family.
Oh
one could say.
It was great. What would you rate this movie?
I would give it an 8.5.
8.5?
Excellent.
Okay.
But I think that it gets a little too busy sometimes.
That's a good point. That kind of might go in why the conflict takes forever to get to where it is. Okay, that is
why, I'm sure.
I didn't think that it was as big of an issue. I'm gonna give this movie a 9.5. This movie blew me away. It blew my expectations away. I think this movie is better than the first movie, in fact.
Yes.
And I just like when a movie does that, it's really special. I think this movie had something to say, and it said it very well, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah.
All right, everybody, we got one last commercial break, and then we're coming right back here to talk about our favorite movies from the year.
Oh,
we'll
I'm
see
excited.
You then.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
I already knew that I was going to go to college, you know, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science, become the mayor or something, make the situation better for other people. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
You've messed up your son's haircut. Do you try to fix it? Work with what you've got? Or show solidarity?
Thank you, babe. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework. I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
1 in 5 children struggle with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to understood.org.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Growing up where I did, a lot of things could have gotten in the way of my goals. But I learned to push through. And that's what I bring to work every day.
We're back, everybody.
Woo,
Here we are.
Back. Oh,
last segment of the season.
I am
Buckle
so
up.
excited for this segment. So me and Andrew made a list of our 5 top movies of the year, and
Yes,
we don't know.
We each made a list.
Yes, and we have no idea what each of us put on the list. We still don't know, and I'm really excited to see what he has to say. And yeah, it's gonna be. I'm excited. So.
Oh, okay, Joe. Tell me your number 5. We'll go
it was
that
very
way.
hard. Number 5 was actually the hardest for me to pick. 1 through 4 just kind of fell where they fell, but this one was so hard to pick. There was like 5 other movies like that could have been number 5, but it's a recent one. But this movie, I just think, what is my number 5, and how much I liked it. Creed 2. Creed
Excellent
2
choice.
was so
That's a good choice.
good, and we just talked about it last week, so I won't talk about it too much. But I just thought it was a great story. I thought it was a great sequel, and it was just. I had so much, I loved watching it, and I just could watch it. It was one of those movies I could rewatch a lot. So
That's a good choice. That is definitely, that would be in my top 10, certainly. I'm not sure exactly where it would fall. But my number 5 movie would be Black Klansman. It's got a lot of flaws. It's got a lot of flaws. But it's an incredibly interesting and fun movie to watch.
I'm really bummed because
So I'm putting that as my 5. I'm not saying that, for this 5th place one, I'm not saying there aren't movies that are better.
Yeah.
But as far as my favorites go, Black Klansman number 5.
I really wanted to see that movie. I wanted to see that movie, so I still got to see it. But
everybody nails it in that movie.
I heard it was good. Awesome. So what did you put for your number 4?
My number 4?
Yes.
Oh, Quiet Place, which we did on the show.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Interesting.
That movie was
Interestingly
awesome.
enough, my number 4 is A Quiet Place.
Whoa! I did not think.
Yeah.
I didn't think that we were gonna put any in the same spot.
No, yeah.
I thought that we would have them on the same. But wow.
It was amazing movie.
Yeah.
Great concept. Original idea. John Krasinski kills it.
Yeah.
Everybody
Everybody
kills it, and it's
just excellent.
It's a
so
great
well
story.
done, so original.
I don't care what people say, like after watching the movie 100 times about the plot holes. That this movie holds up, and I still think it's really good. I think they're just nitpicks on. I think it's so good. But yeah, go see that movie if you haven't, especially if you like suspense. Like you literally, I've never had an experience where I've been in a theater and I've been afraid to like move.
No, I stood up. I stood up in the theater and I was running around.
It was crazy.
What's your number
you did,
3?
because it was an empty theater. My number 3, and I think you're going to have this on your list. I'll be surprised if you don't. Love it. Avengers Infinity War.
Ooh, okay.
I loved this movie so much, and this movie had everything. For a Marvel movie, it had everything, and I think it's the best superhero movie ever made to date. And I think it's a great movie. I thought it was amazing. Everything they did in it, the scope of this movie was insane. And I can't wait for the next one. I'm so excited.
Absolutely, and hopefully we'll get a trailer for that soon.
Hopefully.
My number 3, I don't know if you saw this movie.
I don't know.
Crazy Rich Asians.
No, we were going to see it, and then we didn't end up seeing it for the show.
Awesome. Most fun you'll have at a movie theater this entire year is going to see that movie.
I really wanted to see it.
It might still be in some smaller theaters, and if you're in a town where it is, you should absolutely go see it because it's, gosh, talk about a movie where everybody scores.
Really?
Every single performance is so excellent. And obviously an entirely Asian cast. A lot of people liked that and said that was very important.
Yeah.
And I don't think that of course, should take away that these people are just doing a phenomenal job acting.
That's great. No,
and
I
it's
heard
so
great
well written.
things.
Just incredible movie. Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, I heard great things.
That.
It did really well at the box office, too.
As it should.
What would you put for your number 2? We're getting there. We're getting to
this is a movie that we did on the show this season.
Oh, boy.
A Star is Born. That's my number 2.
Wow. Yep. That's your number 2.
Yeah, because I think it deserves it. Lady Gaga blows it away.
It was
incredibly well directed. We were just talking about that earlier.
Yeah. No, that movie is so good. I couldn't agree more. My number 2 would have to be, we talked about this movie on the show. We actually had a guest on here when we talked about this movie. 8th Grade. This movie was phenomenal. I think the director for his first movie, Bo Burnham, is a genius, and I think what he did with this movie was phenomenal. I couldn't be blown away more by how amazing this film was. Like, every expectation, like, I loved it. I loved it so much, and I think it was just a really original and well acted.
Wow. Well, I agree with all those points, although I am really surprised that is so high on your list.
I
can't understand, of course, but holy smokes. I'm sure Sydney in the control room, she's probably TDing right now, is very excited to hear you say that.
It was so, I love that movie. It was great, and I'm so glad he got credit on that.
Okay. So now it's number 1.
So
what should we do?
You want to say it, or do you want me to say it first?
Can we do same time?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Ready
Star
Player
is Born.
One. Okay. Your choice, correct. But Ready Player One was my favorite movie from this year.
Yes, that is.
But I think that
when I didn't hear it at number 5, I was like, oh, he did it.
Yeah, I did. That's my favorite movie of the year. If you watch the show, you know how much I love it. It was really good.
That movie is definitely, that I really do.
That's going to be a classic, I guarantee.
Yes, that movie is really good. I love that movie as well. That would be in my top 10. But A Star is Born, I know we just talked about, but God, this movie made you, there's very few movies where I walk away from the theater and it really makes me think about like my life and like stuff like down to a personal level.
I really do think that this movie is just that A Star is Born is really just a film in its purest form.
Yes, I completely agree.
It really makes you fall in love with movies.
And the directing's amazing.
No doubt about it.
The performances are amazing. The writing's phenomenal. I completely loved it, and it's my number 1 for the year. And I don't know if a movie's gonna top it.
Okay,
from now
to
later.
All right.
Oh man.
Good list, Joe.
Yeah.
And a good season.
Great season. I'm so sad but so excited for next season.
Yep.
Oh man, the last season of Film Juice. It's gonna be a wild ride.
Yep. We will be back in February right here on WNYF. Yep. And until then, we will see you next time at the movies.
Take care.